sky.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. I am pain.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, ghosts, and ghouls. I am Cam, I am Mason, and you're listening to the Sacrificial Terror Podcast. I'm all kinds of screwed up today. Anyways, with always my lovely co-host, beautiful Miss
Zombie Barbie.
Oh, he froze up.
And he froze. And the Incumber.
I'll just do it.
You're frozen.
He introduced me. I wooed.
Lance the Flair Wagner.
Woo!
Dick.
Woo! There.
And we have a very special producer, James Balsamo himself. Welcome to
Yay!
Hi! It's me!
Yes.
That guy!
I know that guy.
Yeah.
So
And
awesome.
unfortunately, my reception is not great tonight because I
Is that
am on
you?
set.
Me!
It's you.
James Balsamo!
That guy.
He has a
Holy
friend.
shit. Mini you.
I love
That's
it.
me! I'm that guy!
Holy shit.
I told y'all. I
There's
told
James
y'all.
everywhere.
I told y'all.
I'm here on the show! Let's party! Cheers, everybody!
He's the best. Cheers. Cheers. He's the best. Water.
Water.
Pacifico.
Sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Awesome. Everybody has better drinks than I do.
James probably has the best
What's
one.
waiting for?
Yeah.
I know. Like, damn it. I don't have anything here. You guys drink one for me. We'll be good.
That's right. There you go.
I'll drink two. How about that?
That works.
All right, so let's talk about something. What is your latest project?
Well, I'm currently filming 4 features at the same time because I'm a maniac. I've already done 3 last month. I finished Mind Melters, which is in stores now. It's got a collection of my first shorts, including the never-released Gory Tits, with theme song written by Suffocation. And Frank Mullen from Suffocation, lead singer, now retired, plays a serial killer, and his murder weapon gets melted down and turned into a nipple ring. And the nipple ring is possessed by Frank Mullen's ghost, and then the woman starts going on a topless killing spree. And that's Gory Tits, and that's in here, and much other. Ooh, yes. A nipple ring just
That's
like
awesome.
that.
Gory tits.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Also, Cool as Hell 2, which features Michael Berryman, Linnea Quigley, Phil Anselmo from Pantera, and this handsome guy.
Damn.
Comes out in 9 days in stores everywhere, Walmart, Best Buy, Barnes & Noble. My first sequel, Cool as Hell 2, The Quest for God's Bond.
And you got the two of the guys from Comic Book Men are in that, Ming Chen and Brian Johnson.
And yep,
I love those two guys. I love those guys.
Really cool dudes, and it's got a ton of other crazy, wacky cameos.
Oh wow!
And then I also finished James Knows How to Rock, which is a collection of music videos from bands that I've been in over the last 15 years. Slap of the Bass.
Slap of the bass. Slap of the bass.
That's right. And that should be out in November. So
I got that reference. I got that reference.
Now I'm finishing 2 more sequels. I Spill Your Guts 2, which features Mark Scheffler from Last House on the Left.
Oh, cool.
We filmed with him last week. And I'm also shooting Killer Waves 2, which has Marky Ramone in it from the Ramones.
I saw that. Okay.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And Wednesday 13, who I saw last night at the Mad Monster Halloween store. He had a listening party last night, so we were partying there. Robert's called It Wants Blood.
Yes.
Yes.
Monster movie, and that's the monster head up there. If you can see it.
Nice.
So,
And that was made by our friend Joe Castro,
that's
correct?
right, Joe Castro.
It looks like a mixture between gremlins and an elephant.
And don't forget the vagina mouth.
The vagina mouth.
So it's actually based on a real cryptic zoology creature called the Grootslang. And of course, I took that and I made it my own spin. And so it's an elephant and a snake combined. And it's got an elephant face with the trunk of a snake and a vagina mouth in the middle. And we call it the Nadoto, which is Swahili for nightmare. Because I love Google Translator. So I love to type in things and see what they are in Swahili.
That's awesome. I love it. Can't wait to see that one.
A vagina mouth.
And you got Ola Ray's in that.
Ola Ray from the Thriller
video. Yes, and then
Eric
Eric Roberts,
which is a Charles Bronson movie.
right?
Where he makes that guy eat his watch. I love that scene.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you think you're a tough guy? I'm gonna make you eat your own watch. You got time for that?
You got time for that?
Oh,
Give that joke a hand. Give it a second hand. That's a clock joke."
I told you, Rhiannon.
yeah, he's awesome.
Awesome.
It is so
Holy
good.
shit. Oh, man. I saw the vagina mouth monster on, I think Joe posted it too, right?
Yeah.
Joe did an amazing job. Joe Castro's such a killer effects artist, and he's such a sweetheart. I love him.
We had him on the show, and he had so much stuff to talk. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Joe's also doing the effects for my new werewolf movie, Hollywood Werewolf. It's a real howl. So I play a child actor who's gotten too old for the same gimmick, and Hollywood says, "You'll never work in this town again." And while looking for a new gimmick, I get bitten by a werewolf and eat all the people that say I'm never going to make it and take Hollywood by storm.
That's
it's a real howl.
That's the way to do it. Fucking kill them all. The ones that say you can't make it.
That's right. Hollywood just got a little hairier. Hollywood Werewolf. Makeup by Joe Castro.
Holy shit.
I met him at Jim's at the Cult Classic Convention in 2017, and I mean he was just nonstop. And I'm like, one of my biggest regret was that I didn't have enough money because of my first convention. We just had the hurricane in Houston, so money was kind of tight. And I just didn't know how much, my very first convention, how much do you take? What do you expect? Blah, blah, blah. And here comes James, like one of the first guys I talked to. He's like, "I'm James Balsamo, and you might want to be interested in this video, blah, blah, blah. And I'm in it." And he goes, and blah, blah, blah. He goes, and I'm in it. And I'm like, I wish I knew because, I would have brought more money,
Aww.
That's my biggest regret.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But I met James. I actually got to meet him.
Yeah.
Good, Lance. One of these days, we're all going to fucking work together, and you won't have to worry about money.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to buy the whole James Balsamo library.
There you go. You have one whole shelf designated.
Just for James. That's right.
Yeah, make room for your James Balsamo action figure.
Is he holding a plunger?
He is. So in the movie Bite School, it's a vampire comedy. I fight vampires and I raise the stakes. It's a plunger steak.
Come on, this you can't. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
And that's the late Herschel Gordon-Lewis, who Joe Castro worked with
Yep.
on Blood Feast 2, and Ron Jeremy's in that, and Butch Patrick from the Munsters, and that's out everywhere. Also, Wednesday 13 is in that movie, and that's out now wherever movies are sold. So
Wow.
it's fantastic.
I used to party with Ron Jeremy and Dennis Rodman at the Rainbow Room.
Yeah, I like the Rainbow. Last time I saw
I went there once. I did a lot of coke in the bathroom.
Rainbow in the parking lot. He's always there. He's always there.
Who was that? Joe, you froze for a second. Who was that?
Oh, Ron Jeremy. Last time I saw him, he was at the Rainbow getting his palm read in the parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know,
It was Palm Sunday.
I'm telling you, he's got a million of them. I'm telling you.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you.
We used to go to metal school. So, and it was a fucking blast because I had a place right there. You're talking about you're in Studio City. I had a place right there on Laurel Canyon and Ventura. So I was right there by everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I am.
No, come on. Who froze? Oh,
In the bathroom.
Sam. Sam's freezing.
there, you back? You back?
I think I'm back.
Now you are.
All right. I said, but I didn't do coke in the bathrooms.
I did, and it was great.
Yeah. No Coke, Pepsi.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Y'all are awesome.
Now I feel
What?
left-
What?
I said, now I feel left out.
I'm left out. I never been.
It's pretty cool.
We'll have to change that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
take you to metal school on Monday nights, but you're not doing any coke in the bathrooms.
No.
I didn't do it at middle. Where's middle school?
At the Rainbow Room.
Oh, okay. I didn't know anything about middle school, but when I went there, there was a chick that used to go on tour with Marilyn Manson. Not that that like matters, but there were some stories about it, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
How much you love Marilyn Manson. So
I love him, but I probably would not have wanted to be her.
right?
Yeah, there were some stories. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I just want to be in a video. I don't
That's
want to
it.
go on tour. Yep.
That's it. So on It Wants Blood, James, you've got Felissa Rose, Brink Stevens. So they've all. It seemed like those three have like Aline Dietz. It seems like I keep seeing them kind of running the same circles. Are they all trying? They're all trying to do stuff together as much as possible.
Hollywood's funny. No, I shot them all separately, but there's like a old school cult icon mafia in the horror world. You know what I mean? It's like
How are they to work with? I mean, is it like
amazing.
is it good?
I've known Felissa for years from doing conventions with her, and Eileen Dietz also for years. So it's always great seeing them. And Eileen's already excited to be in another one. She sent
That's
me
awesome.
the other day. She's like, "You have a bigger role for me in the next one, right?" Wink.
Aw.
Wink. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They and through that thing you made with Joe Cash, that little teaser video you made when we had Joe on.
Yeah.
I made friends with. Remember that?
Yeah, we were on set.
That's right.
That's so cool.
I became friends with Rob Mulligan behind that, and I see that he's going to be in it also as well, right?
Yeah, Rob's great.
And
also
Alyssa Dowling.
rings. I had to take his nipple rings out,
Yeah, that's right.
and so we had to put the nipple rings on the fake torso. Spoiler alert.
No, it's an exclusive. It's an exclusive.
Put the nipple rings on the. Yeah, it was an adventure.
Oh wow.
Anything for the art. That's what
That's
I.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Alyssa Dowling is going to be in
It
it.
didn't work though. I was waiting by them. Ring, ring. Nothing happened.
Right. That's why I'm making my own film.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about trying to, I'm not worried about trying to get everybody else involved and fucking, and try to work my way into the clicks and all the other bullshit. At this point, man, if I can't get somebody to cast me for what I'm capable of doing, I'll just make my own content.
Yeah.
And with there, we're getting back into production this weekend, and it's gonna be fucking amazing. I've got great people involved, and and we're gonna be the next thing. So
excited to see it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
What's the elevator pitch for it?
The elevator pitch is single father doing his best to take care of his kid. Okay. After he puts his child to bed, man becomes a monster, and he abducts and kills for an unknown reason.
I like it.
So it's from the killer's point of view before he's caught.
That's cool.
Lots of blood.
Lots of blood. There will be blood.
I was
That's
just
right.
going to say that.
But was going to ask you, James, was Alyssa Dowling was in it as well? Was she pregnant when she was on there in the movie?
She was. Yeah.
She's had that was a beautiful baby she had.
Yeah, that's a good looking baby.
Those eyes just look just like her.
Yeah.
That was scary, spooky almost.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like an
I've
action
known
man.
Alyssa for a long time too. It was great to finally put her in something.
Good. She's
And,
like
and she also brought a live skunk.
yes. She
So I
raised
got back,
baby
it was a
skunks.
live skunk. I was terrified. It wasn't dissented. So at any moment, that
It could
skunk could have sprayed Eric Roberts and me, and that would have been the end of the day. That would have been,
Wow.
but everything went beautifully.
That's
We also
good.
had a live tarantula that was like crawling on my face that day for a scene. Because I've become Steve Irwin all of a sudden.
Pass. Hard pass on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you know what's great about a spider joke? It's always got legs to stand on. Hey,
Absolutely.
that joke on the web.
So that's just a few people just in 2 movies. It seemed like you've got like a laundry list of superstars already. Is there like who's been like some of the bigger names? Not that those aren't big names, but like just who have been like big names you've worked with that would just like blow us away? Not that those aren't big; those are big names.
Yeah, well, I produced this movie called Hanukkah. It's the first Jewish slasher film, and Sid Haig's in it, and
Right.
Dick Miller came out of retirement to do it right before he passed away.
That's
I
awesome.
was the DP that day, so I was the last person to ever film Dick Miller,
That's awesome.
and I was honored because I had wanted to work with Dick for years. So
He was amazing.
yeah,
Which
That was
one was
sad.
this? Which movie?
it's called Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Yeah, from the dreidel to the grave.
Should that be coming out pretty soon?
That's directed by Eben McGar and executively produced by Chris Ott and produced by me. And that's
Superstars in it too.
yeah.
Big names.
Caroline Williams is in it, who I saw last night.
She's awesome.
And,
Stretch.
Yep.
Stretch yourself.
Yep. Charles Fleischer, the voice of Roger Rabbit's in that.
Oh my gosh.
See, I remember him from Welcome Back, Kotter. People always want to throw him as, Roger Rabbit. I remember him back with, John Travolta in Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah, and he's in Demon Knight too. That's
Yeah, one of my favorites. Absolutely.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He's
never
been around
knew
for a
who.
long time.
Oh, I never knew who voiced Roger Rabbit.
That's him.
Yeah. Charles Fleischer.
Wow.
The man.
See, I'm getting schooled.
See?
I'm learning stuff. I think that was one of the first movies I saw in the theater.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but the shirts that were like the Flintstone shirts, it was like a t-shirt and had the Flintstone outfit on it. I remember me and my friend, I was probably like 6 or 7. Me and my friend wore that with a stupid belt right here. and then like the bows in our hair. It was so dumb, but I remember that's what we wore.
That was the look.
It was in the 80s.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's crazy.
Sam froze again.
Always is now.
I have no idea what you just said. What?
I said you weren't always as cool as you are now.
No, I was not cool. What?
Cooler now.
I'm way cooler now.
Come on,
funny thing
Jake. You
is
gotta
all
have a
that-
joke. Come on.
All that shit's coming back though. The 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
When I took my daughter school shopping, everything is the 90s again.
Oh, wow.
It's insane. Like you can't buy just regular stuff. It's all what we used to wear back in the 90s.
Yeah, fanny packs are so hot right now.
Yeah, they really are. And like there's New Kids on the Block shirts and all the band tees, and the grunge scene is back. I am so excited about that.
More flannel.
Flannels, Doc Martens, which I mean those are always in style, but now our kids want to wear that. And I'm like, all right, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I saw a kid in a Sublime shirt the other day. I was like, you don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
He had like 40 ounces of freedom. I was like, you don't listen to Sublime. Get out of here.
Get that shirt off.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys ever been to the Mopop Museum in Seattle?
No.
The Museum of Pop Culture. So they had a Nirvana exhibit, and then they also had David Bowie. That's why I went. So my daughter's like, I want a Nirvana shirt. I'm like, do you even know who they are? And I know she's heard them, you know, because I listen to them all the time. So I know she's listened to them. And she's like, oh yeah. So we're walking by and there's this huge screen with some lady singing that had like it was kind of like African music, but not. It was like this weird mixture, and she had like the wrap, you know, like on her head, and she
Erykah
was,
Badu or something.
Kind of like that, yeah. Okay. And we walked by, and my daughter goes, "Is that Nirvana?" I was like, "You are not getting that shirt. No, that is not Nirvana." I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." So then I played it on my phone, and she's like, "Oh, okay." And I mean, she knew the words, she knew everything. She just didn't know exactly who they were. I was like, "You cannot wear that fucking shirt until you know their songs."
I saw them in concert in December of '93.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw them with the Breeders, if y'all remember the Breeders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Deal, she was in the Pixies. Kim or Kelly Deal, I forget the name. Which ones are twins?
I like Pixies.
And yeah, she was in the Pixies. They went to the Breeders. Big song was Cannonball. That was their big hit. And then this badass, like Kurt brought in. He loved this Japanese sounding metal sound.
Mm-hmm.
These two Japanese chicks, I forget their name. They freaking made my ears bleed. And so that was the 3 acts, but my ears are still ringing from 1993 of Nirvana. It was super, super loud.
Wow.
They were
that's
awesome.
So cool though, to say that you went.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
You come as you are and then leave different.
There you go. He's just like Clegg. He's just like Brian Clegg.
Oh shit. So when did you say your werewolf movie was coming out?
I didn't. I'm
yeah.
Okay.
So when is the werewolf movie coming out?
Soon. We still have a lot of stuff to shoot. So I've been shooting 2 movies and then alternating them from week to week. So
okay.
Keep it different for myself, because after making 14 feature films, it gets boring. You know what I mean? I know how to make a movie in 3 months, but what I've never done is shot 4 movies simultaneously and rotated them like a revolver against my temple, because I love roulette. That's what I do in my spare time. I go to Koreatown and, I just wait for them to say, "Giddy Mao." That flick, and gives me the rush of life.
Oh man.
A little safer is shooting 4 features at the same time. Same rush. Click.
Well, that just makes you like the Stanley Kubrick of indie movies, No, it's pretty good because there's got to be some smarts in there, right? Keep up with 4 movies at one time.
Yeah. It's a madhouse up here. You don't want to play up here. So.
Is it hard to do that though? Like to go back and forth instead of just finishing one and
for a regular human being, probably if you're demented,
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, that's what my brain looks like. Characters.
It's like a mess.
Actual picture.
Yeah,
exactly. Sam dropped off.
Sam dropped. Well, shit.
Now I got to play with these nipple rings. I don't have time for you guys.
Oh, man.
Do you stay in contact with everybody, James? Like, so say like you have Felissa in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you talk to Felissa like on the reg, or is it just like whenever you need her?
I see her so much, and then we just like each other's posts on social media and stuff. So
right. Okay.
And then
you're always in contact.
Exactly, more or less. It's such a small scene, you know what I mean? Anytime something happens. Yeah.
I'm seeing it more and more now.
Hey, welcome back.
He's back.
Welcome back.
Now we got the welcome back Cotter song.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Thank you.
It's like he's singing.
Take over.
He's like,
Like he just came back from Area 51.
yeah, shit. Were you part of the raid?
Did y'all see that, James?
I didn't see it.
No.
75 people showed up at 100 and something thousand committed. 75 showed up.
Only 75?
No,
The guards are like, they look so, they're just standing there like, okay. They arrested one guy for pissing on the fence. Nobody died. Nobody got killed with a ray gun.
Was that the Canadian that did the indecent exposure? Was that guy?
I don't know.
Probably, if he
I read
peed on
some
the fence.
article on it yesterday. It said
That's who they arrested?
they detained a woman, but then they let her go. And then a Canadian guy for indecent exposure. They said his cock was out of this world.
Told you. Sam, come back. Sam, come
His
back.
cock was out of this world. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. That would make sense, though, indecent exposure, because
Right.
it was out,
Right.
so. How funny. 75 people.
There he is again.
Yeah, I like it. It's like the Mothman prophecies.
That was a cool movie. I liked that movie.
Yeah.
It was weird, and like the sound. Oh man, that sound was creepy.
That's what I just heard. That's why.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Oh yeah.
So what were your inspirations, James, for to getting you all this? What were the movies that really inspired you?
Oh, well, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I started acting when I was 8, and I had always just wanted to be in horror movies because I had watched Friday the 13th Part 3 with my dad.
That's my favorite. That's my absolute favorite.
Oh yeah. When that chick gets killed in the barn, and that was it. I was like, I want to be Jason. You know what I mean? I want to be, and I've worked with Kane a few times. Kane was stunt coordinator on Hanukkah, and
Wow.
filmed with Kane some stuff for Mad Monster Party when he's done full in costume photo op stuff. So it's always good to
That's awesome.
Kane.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've worked with a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 15 years. So
Jeez.
I've gone through the ringer.
Wow.
Yeah, Tom Savini, Tony Todd. Yeah, Tom Savini's in my movie Cool as Hell, and the sequel's coming out next week. And Tony Todd's in Catch the Day. Odorous Rungus from Guar is in my first film. Lloyd Kaufman, Debbie Rochon. A lot of wrestlers: Jake the Snake Roberts, Balls Mahoney. The late Nikolai Volkov is in Cool as Hell too.
Man.
Wow.
I put
Like who haven't you worked with, I guess?
Yeah. There'll be a smaller list.
Yeah. That's awesome.
How cool. Damn. Was Kane Hodder pretty awesome to work with?
Yeah, Kane's great. I mean, I see him fairly often.
Oh, really?
Shows with him. Yeah, over the last 7 years. So.
Is he doing a podcast or something with Felissa, or is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
right?
Tiffany. Yeah, and Tiffany Shepis.
That's right. That's right.
Tiffany's great too. I've known Tiffany for a while too. She's a ball buster. I like Tiffany.
She seems cool.
Yeah, she's fun.
She's
real.
Her.
You know what I mean? She's real.
Man, we need to get into your group.
Yeah, come hang out with me, guys.
Hell yeah.
I'm at a party.
We're gonna go party, Lance.
That's right. He does. He is. He's just like that. I mean, he's just the high energy. I love this guy, man. And I follow you. One of the guys I follow religiously on the social media. That's right.
Aww.
Freaking love you. I told him, I said, like, yeah, I think he was over his limit, and he had to kick some bots out or something to get me on as one of his friends. And right out the gate, I'm just like, I'm sharing like everything every 5 seconds, you know. I was blown away. I didn't know being his friend would be so cool. Like I knew he's a cool guy, but being his friend on Facebook is just nonstop coolness, you know. It's just always going on.
It's cool being your friend.
Oh, thanks, James.
Oh, I got a bromance.
That's my buddy.
That's awesome. So how many times have you worked with Joe Castro? Are you guys always on everything together or just certain
Well, this
projects?
is the first movie I've done with Joe, but Joe right now is already lined up for a few projects of mine coming
Awesome.
up. Like Twerk of Terror, Nightmare Party. It's a dance slasher film. Killer takes the Nutcracker costumes and wears them to kill twerk dancers.
Because he doesn't like twerkers?
Well, the plot is that they're like a real dancer into ballet, and these kids don't understand what it means to dance, and just shaking your butt isn't really dancing, and so they don't deserve to live. And so they dress up as the Nutcracker and the Rat King and a ballerina with an executioner mask and start killing big booty babes.
That is cool.
Yeah, so that's in pre-production now. So hopefully they'll start going by November.
And what's the name of that one again?
Nightmare Party. Twerk of Terror.
Twerk of Terror. And who's in that?
Right now I can't announce. Nobody's really attached, but it's just a pre-production. And Joe Castro's signed on to make the killer masks for that.
Sweet. That's awesome.
I'm always looking for exclusives, James. So, if you want to let one slip out.
Well, that's it. That's the exclusive. I haven't said that Joe's making the masks for that.
There it is.
Woo!
Got it first.
Yes.
Castro will be doing the Nightmare Party Twerk of Terror killer masks. So.
Heard it first on STP. That's right. Yep. That's right.
Don't say I never gave you nothing.
You did. That's awesome.
Thank you. That's so cool. Hell yeah. Oh man.
So I got no. So anything else you want to ask? Because I'm low. God dog it. Are you planning on doing any cons anytime soon, or are you just all work right now?
Well, I was signing autographs at Son of Monster Palooza last weekend.
Okay.
I got actually double booked, so I apologize to CT Horror Fest and my good friend Carmen Capobianco, who is here. I just got double booked, and it just didn't work out. So sadly, I didn't get to see my buddy Jeff Zorno, who does the Godzilla comic books and a lot of my movie covers. But he was there, and Tobin Bell was there, who I've done a few shows.
Oh, shit.
And some of the other Saw cast. They were real Saw at me, That was the buzz, anyway, that I had heard.
That's so cool.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking James. I love it. They were Saw at me.
They were Saw at me. So Son of Monster Palooza, I didn't know. Is that like a sister con? Because I've never heard of that one until recently.
Monster Palooza is the big one.
Uh-huh.
I also signed at the last one, and then at the Mad Monster table, and then also I signed at the Mad Monster Party for Son of Monster Palooza.
Okay. Cool.
How much advance do you have to have on those cons, James? You know well in advance when you're going to the cons, or?
I usually know well in advance.
Oh, okay. I'm just because Cult Classic's coming up in February. I don't know if you're going to try to make it back this year or not.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, since I have this new distribution, I'm just trying to crank out as much content as I can.
Right.
It takes a person 90 minutes to make a movie, and it takes me about 3 months to make them. That's why I've been trying to shoot 4 at the same time, so I have a lot of content. Because I had done so many conventions 2 years ago. I was hitting the same cities, and people were like, "I have all of your movies. What do you have now?" You know what I mean? So I wasn't providing the fans with enough content. I'd come back, and they'd be like, "I have this." And then, it's great to see you. Let's take a selfie. Bye. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I have to make more movies. So
darn.
Yeah.
Damn, you got to make more movies. So he'll just do 4 at a time.
Man, that's cool.
So cool.
It really is.
And so, did you meet him at Cult Classic Convention then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
2017.
Nice.
And that's what I was saying. They didn't have one this year because of some issues with. I think there's some health issues, but they're going to come back earlier next year. So that's why I knew it was kind of the crunch was coming up. So I didn't know if he knew about it or not.
Yeah, it was
okay.
it was a fun show. Casey Orr from Guar, he's one of the beef cakes. Did a cameo in Cool Cell 2 with Brian Stewart, who's a good friend of mine. He does a lot of art for Kiss and stuff like that.
Right. Brian's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Sid Haig was at that one too. I met Sid Haig at that one.
Yeah, Sid's amazing.
That's awesome. He'd be cool to meet.
Oh yeah.
He's great. He's a sweetheart. Really.
Did you see Thief from Hell the other day?
You know what? I had a ticket and I fell asleep.
Oh no.
Working like a maniac and I slept right through it.
Aw. They're bringing it back for one more night, October 14th, I believe.
Oh, nice.
And it's released the next day on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part.
Yep,
Yeah.
October 15th.
I'm back. So.
Cool. I liked it.
Due to the success of it was awesome.
Yeah.
We had Billy Blair on, and he was one of the Black Satans, and that was
so cool.
That was a badass scene.
Yeah. He looked like a badass.
He really did.
Are those the luchador? I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It was neat.
It was neat that I was kind of the only thing I'm not going to ruin it, but I was disappointed in a few things.
Yeah.
But other than that, the movie was great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I know when he came on, I'm all tapping my daughter because, it was the double feature. So she got all through Devil's Rejects. But then when Three from Hell came on, she's falling asleep. I'm like, I fucking paid almost $20 for these tickets. Wake up. And she's like, so I'm like tapping her. I'm like, I know him. He's so cool. He was on our show. And she's like trying to look at it, but she's like half asleep. I'm like, watch his scene at least.
She's like, is that Nirvana?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good.
Is that Nirvana, Mom?
No.
I'll be like, just
They've
go
been
back to
gone
bed.
for a long time.
Walk home, Autumn.
Yeah. That's funny.
Damn kid. But at least you got to see Devil's Rejects.
I told Sam, she's sitting, and I'm trying not to talk. I pride myself on not talking in movies.
Mhm.
I'm sitting, I got excited because Bill Oberst was in there, Papa Corn.
Yeah.
Dead. So I went, there's Bill. And then when Billy Blair, there's Billy. And then I said, and when Poncho came on, I go, we wanted to get him on the show. And she's like, shut up, I've never been a podcaster before, come on, give me a break.
I did that to Autumn too. I'm like, there's Bill. There's Bill. Remember? There's Bill. And she's like, okay. Oh, man. It's exciting, like when you see people that in the movie.
It really is.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, Bill's a nice guy. We have the same manager.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we had him on, we were like geeked up about talking about Circus of the Dead, and he said, when we told him we really want to push it for Billy, so Billy can get some more exposure and stuff for it. So we're really pushed on Sacrificial Terror podcast.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he goes, yeah, I want to do anything for Billy, and then right as we start the thing, he goes, yeah, that was a real disturbing character for me. I was like, oh shit! So do we not talk about it? I'm thinking inside, don't talk about it. And he's like, he was like in character, and he said, looking back, he did not like it. He didn't like Papa Corn.
Mm-hmm. It scared, like that character scared him.
Yeah,
because he was so fucked up.
Right.
It's like when you meet, I mean, even on the on the show, but when you meet him in person, he is not anything like that.
Complete 180. Yep.
He's so sweet and very like Christian and just so nice. And it's weird, like some of these characters, you're like, wow, like that's really not you.
Right.
Yeah, he's a good guy though.
Acting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
And that's when you're a good one. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
He's the man. Do you prefer being behind the camera, James?
Lately, yeah, I do. It's weird because I took a step back in Killer Waves. I played a smaller character, and I had a lot of complaints from my fan base. They were like, Killer Waves is a fun slasher, but there's not enough James Balsamo in it. And so now I'm kind of torn by still playing a lead and just enjoying directing because it's a handful. I mean, that's how I know how to make movies, doing everything because I'm a maniac.
Right.
It's something I enjoy, but I do like just being able to work with actors that understand how to take direction. Because I usually just grab homeless people off the street and say, hey, you want $5 to be in a movie? and that's how I cast.
Awesome.
I'll be in it.
Hired.
Thank you. And I'm not homeless. That's
Are
awesome.
you tough on yourself as a director? I mean, if it's possible, do you
Yeah.
direct somebody? Are you tough on yourself?
I mean, I'll give you guys an exclusive story. So It Wants Blood was supposed to be like a serious kind of horror film, but Eric Roberts, not that he didn't take direction well, but he had a point. And when you work with experienced actors, I don't know if you've ever heard.
Oh,
Oh, he froze.
okay, right now,
Say
start
that
over.
again.
Yeah, please say it again.
You froze.
Froze up for a second.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard that famous William Shatner interview where he's doing a recording and the director is trying to give William Shatner a little bit of direction. And Shatner's just going through the motions in a way where he's just, hi, I'm reading a thing. Okay, thanks. And the guy was like, oh, could you do it a little bit? And Shatner goes off on the guy. He's like, don't you think I know how to do this? I've been doing it for 50 years. Like, I'm going to do it this way. But the guy was trying to direct him. You know what I mean? So not that I had a bad experience with Eric Roberts. He's amazing. But I wanted him to play the character a little straighter. But in all fairness, the movie is ridiculous. In the opening, he sacrifices his own son to these two witch doctors. So we had these two black guys from Detroit dressed as witch doctors. You know what I mean? So they're in full makeup and loincloths, and here's Eric Roberts, and I'm like, okay, play this serious. And he's like, this is ridiculous. If I play this seriously, people are going to think, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a hack, this is jokey. You know what I mean? But I like a horror film that's satirical, that takes itself seriously.
Gotcha.
That's the kind of cinema I like. Like Return of the Living Dead. That's a perfect example. The movie, ridiculous, but just like an early 50s movie, everybody believes the rubber monster on the string is a real monster in their universe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're terrified of the hand puppet. They're like, oh no! Like Vincent Price is like, oh no, the Tinkler! You know what I mean? It's like a little rubber worm, and it's the scariest thing. And so that was the feel that I wanted for It Wants Blood. But like I said, directing in the moment, Eric Roberts went the opposite way and schlocked it up. You know what I mean? Which is great for a lot of the films that I've done, but it wasn't the movie that I wanted to make. So that kind of spiraled the whole film to become more of a horror comedy.
Okay.
Oh.
So, I mean, like, spoiler alert, Eric Roberts' son gets decapitated by these witch doctors so he could get the creature as a baby, which will give him the power to win the re-election. And so while his son's head is decapitated, he's like kissing the head like, oh, son, you know what I mean? It's funny, and it makes it a little more schlocky.
Right.
But I wanted him to play it drier so it would read as serious. But like I said, when you work with experienced actors, and after hearing that William Shatner interview and working with some other experienced actors that just don't like to take direction from younger filmmakers, even though I've been doing this for 15 years, I've worked with guys that are in their 60s that have been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So they're like, why the hell am I going to listen to you, schmuck? Like, I know how to dance like a monkey? Of course, I know what I'm doing. I don't care what you're asking me to do. I'm here. I'm going to do it my way. You know what I mean? They pulled the Sinatra. So in that case, as a filmmaker, you have to kind of pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? You need to know what you really want and what you could fight for and get. And then, actors are famously obnoxious. And I've been lucky to work with a lot of people that have put up with a lot of my nonsense and silly film ideas. Like I said, Eric Roberts played that character fun, and he makes the movie fun. But I wanted to make a drier, kind of like Q the Winged Serpent, where you see this stop motion, serpent creature, and
Right.
there is stop motion in the film. So, like, you know, it has elements of an old school monster movie, but it's a sillier movie than I wanted to make. I've only made one serious horror film. I Spill Your Guts is my only kind of dry slasher film, and so I'm trying to recapture that with I Spill Your Guts too. Everything else is kind of hacky and silly, but I mean, I went to film school, you know what I mean? I understand cinematography. Like, I know puns and I can be fun, but it's like, as an artist, there comes a point where, you know, I lose gigs as an actor and a director because people see my work and they're like, oh, this is silly. Why would I hire you to do a serious horror movie? And I'm like, horror is my life. I can handle dry. Comedy is harder than, you know, serious drama and suspenseful horror film. A lot of that is in the music, you know what I mean? So direction wise, it's harder to get a laugh at a camera than a scare. So that's kind of where I've been torn.
Is that stop motion stuff? Is that like, do you bring people in to help with that, or is that just you just know how to do that?
No, I do know how to do it. It's a grueling process. I've done it to play a few times, but Richard Svensson, who's the lone animator, he's this guy in Sweden. He's incredible, and he sculpted a full body version of the Nadoto.
Wow.
The Grootslang, and he actually did that before Joe Castro had made the big head. So you know, Richard is incredible, and he's doing some other stuff for me. I've got this movie, it's been in pre-production hell for a few years, called The Sword and the Stoner. And I fall through a couch trying to find the last potato chip. Old, you know, Conan the Barbarian future world. And it's got a bunch of stop-motion creatures in it, pot-smoking dragons, and Richard's doing all that stuff. So
wow.
Nice.
That is cool.
Yeah.
More exclusive, see?
Hell yeah. We got all kinds of them.
That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
We love them.
We got to get James to do one of those things, but like with him, like he did with Joe.
Yeah, like how you did that little video, the little promo video.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
That'd be badass.
Yeah. Whoa, I almost just unplugged my whole
So
computer.
is Sam not going to come back?
I don't think so.
Yeah. The monster got him.
Yeah.
Got him.
With the vagina mouth. Oh man. So do you keep props from every one of your movies?
I do. You know, yeah. I've got a painting in my living room of the Nadoto that April Garcia painted on set, and
wow.
You know, I've got tons of rubber heads and got closets full of them.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh. How cool.
Yeah. I'd love to do like what Tom Devlin did someday, like that monster museum. I don't know if you guys ever went to Tom Devlin's Monster Museum in Las Vegas. Tom Devlin did a bunch of work for Trauma. He's doing the new movies now. Tom's a real cool guy. I went there a few months ago. It's pretty cool. So
nice. Is it a new museum or have they had that?
A few years, not too long, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
But it's pretty recent. Yeah.
Dang, we'll have to go.
I was gonna say, I saw you posted about that, didn't you?
Yeah, I went.
Oh.
I went to see. What did I go see? I don't know, some band in Vegas, and then we went to go to
Check
that.
I want to go to Vegas so bad. It's been too long for me.
Mm-hmm. I went to Gwen Stefani a couple months ago. I think back in March.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If I would have known. It was so good.
Yeah.
She is so good in concert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And it was the most, even though it's Vegas and you expect it to be fucking crazy to get in and just like a total shit show, it wasn't. It was so easy. You know, the line went through 2 casinos, but once they were opening those doors, you got through it like that. They got you in, they got you seated. There was, you know, room for you to sit. There were big old stairs. Your legs could spread out. It was like, I've never been in a venue that easy.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was super awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool.
Favorite Gwen Stefani song?
Oh man, gosh, I love so many of them. But I like her old school stuff, you know, so I like Spiderwebs and Don't Speak. Those are my favorites.
The No Doubt stuff.
Yeah.
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 No doubt.
No doubt. That's my favorite.
Come on, James.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said I couldn't speak.
No, I never said that. For the record, I never said that.
Don't speak.
Oh, no. She wasn't talking.
Don't Speak. But yeah, no, those are my favorites, but I love tons of her music. It's just those are what I remember back from the 90s, you know.
I'm just a girl.
No, you're not, James.
In the world.
Yeah.
She did that one too. It was pretty good.
That's awesome.
Awesome. All right.
So let him tell us what he's got coming up.
Yeah. So normally Sam does this part, but clearly we don't have Sam. So this is the end of the show where we let you give shout outs, talk about, or, you know, let us know what you're working on doing next. If you want us to check anything out, pages, anything you want to promote.
Sure.
Thank somebody.
Your time to shine.
Okay.
No pressure.
Thank you.
And the light just got brighter.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm James Balsamo. Go get Mind Melters out now, and then go get Cool as Hell 2, which comes out September 30th, everywhere videos are sold. And be on the lookout for James Knows How to Rock. It Wants Blood, Hollywood Werewolf, Nightmare Party, Twerk of Terrors in pre-production.
Twerk of Terror.
That's it. So follow me on the social media. I'm James Balsamo. I want to be your friend. Add me on Facebook. Follow me on the gram. I'm all about the gram. I'm at the Snapchats also. Follow us on Twitter at Acid Bath Product. And go to acidbathproductions.com. Get your cool James Balsamo action thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That one.
I've ordered off of Acid Bath.
And I wrote a bad joke book. It's at Barnes & Noble. James Balsamo's Total Punishment. It's 100 bad jokes.
Sweet.
You guys hear about the Olympic gymnast that robbed the bank?
Uh-uh.
She took the money and split. You could have seen her.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is so good.
You have so much energy. It's so cool. All right, Lance.
You ready? Okay. James, bear with me. Just a few things to go over for us.
Sure, I'm a bear.
You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you for coming on the show, by the way.
Thank you.
Really does.
Thank you.
We have a new, I saw what to call it. Is it a sister podcast? Is it right?
I would think it was a sister podcast.
Okay. Well, it's coming soon. The Primetime guys, the Primetime Horror Show. We got Lance Dale. We call him L2. He met my buddy Ty Andraco through the Cult Classic horror page. He's like a columnist for them. He does columns and stuff, and he has his own little podcast on there. Great guy. They actually internet people actually met today. I thought that was really cool. And then we got David Martin and Thad Timothy are also going to be on that show, and then just some guys that always give shout outs to us and look out for us and support everything we do, James, is we got James Blankenship, Scott Williamson, and Damon Williams. And then people, James Roy and Lisa Rose from the Cult Classic Convention. That's their poster back up there by the chainsaw. That's the shirt. The next convention from them is going to be Valentine's Day weekend, 2020, February. You can see them right now, though. You can go to the gas station where the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed, the 1974 OG.
I went.
Did you go to it?
Yeah, I went.
It's awesome, isn't it?
How could I not go while I was in Texas?
Right. I call it Horror's Graceland. It's like, you've got to go to it, you know. Yeah. And amazing barbecue, and you can actually stay there if you need to. But Roy and Lisa Rose, look them up. And then we got, just real quick, Joe Ridgely and George C. Romero they have a podcast type thing coming out pretty soon called Romero Pictures Indie Brigade, and it's gonna promote indie stuff, indie music. I think indie horror. You know,
are you excited about Romero's lost film being unearthed?
Yes, that really got me stoked.
Yeah,
I've heard it's pretty good.
I didn't hear about that.
Yes, just for his wife is going to have it released.
Wow.
And that's going to be good. So I'm sure George will be talking about that too on his show. And then just recent guests we've had on Billy Pawn, Bill Oberst Jr. and we're going to have Parrish Randall on pretty soon. So we'll have the triumvirate from Circus of the Dead. Really excited. You visited with Parrish that one year, right?
Yeah. Parrish the Thought.
Yeah. Parrish the Thought.
Did he say the thought?
The Parrish the Thought. You got to be on your toes. I'll tell you, you got to be on your toes with this guy. So anyway, and then Daryl Hook, who's in California. He's Mr. Meat Hooked on YouTube. You want to look him up. Yeah. He does a badass group on Facebook for Halloween. If you love the movie Halloween 3, go to Halloween 3 Lovers. It's an awesome group. Daryl's the guy on that. And Chris Attella does our music. James, our intro and our outro. Badass dude. And then Matthew Price Thompson does our graphics, MPT graphics. And he'll be doing your artwork and stuff too. So we'll get with you on that. Right. And I love my co-host. Get Rian's got a book. If you she'll hook you up. Get you a book. Get your autograph book. Cool. And Sam's working on got Normal Terror stuff coming up next weekend, so we got to look out for that. I'll be sharing the hell out of that, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And James, thank you. It really does mean a lot.
Yeah, really thank you so much for coming on. He's so much energy. I love it.
Oh, thanks to my wife.
We love you, Samantha.
Awesome. Samantha Wagner. Samantha Wagner.
Is she there?
My baby.
Is she there?
Whatever. No, she's in the back. We had a lot of walking today. So.
Oh.
And we're going to do a lot of walking. I'm going to the last Astro game at home tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, and I'm Oakley Dokley done. So you're up.
All right. As always, everybody you just said. And thank you so easy on it. I know, and I love it, and I thank you so much for that. Because like you got your little list, and it's like I never get my list going. So I'm like, everybody you said, that's exactly who.
It's the same people, yeah.
It is, yeah, it's the same people. And thank you, James, for coming on. You've been so much fun, and hopefully we can get you on again if you'd be willing. You're super cool. And then
I know we just barely scratched the surface on the stuff too. He's got so much stuff,
Yeah. Well, when those 4 movies come out, we'll have 4 more movies to talk about. That's awesome. And then, my book, like you were mentioning, it's called Broken Halo on Amazon. So I want to thank my publishers, Crazy Ink Publishing, and my friend Diana Register, who is also an author who got me with Crazy Ink. There's going to be 3 in the series so far. One's released. Paper book is released now. Kindle's on pre-order, and the other 2 will be released soon. I just don't know when, but I'll keep everybody updated. So check that out. And then that's it for me. That's all I got going on.
Awesome. All right, James.
Thank
you so much. James.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.